It's the holidays, and I know that a lot of you are hoping that things are going to be different this time. But as much as I'm hoping that it will be for you, please try using radical acceptance this year. Accept what is to happen, and that way things are going to go over way smoother for you. Remember, they can't stand when attention is on others. Hi everyone, Deanna King here, and this channel is all about narcissism and codependency. Today, I want to address holidays with the narcissist. So if you're new to the world of narcissism, this video is going to explain a lot here. It's going to explain what's happening during these festive days. And if you've been around the block a few times, this is a reminder. The holidays, they can bring out the best in people, unless you're dealing with a narcissist. Then the season of joy becomes a season of walking on eggshells. Today, we're breaking down exactly what happens when you spend the holidays with a narcissist, why things always seem to go wrong, and how you can protect your peace this year. Narcissists don't usually take part in planning the holidays. They rarely help. They rarely contribute, and they almost never take initiative. But what they do is they hover in the background and they judge everything that you're doing. In the weeks leading up to the holiday, you'll notice a shift in their mood. They become short-tempered, edgy, and strangely on alert. And this happens because the holidays represent something that they can't control. Other people's joy, family closeness, and social expectations. That loss of control, it makes them deeply uncomfortable. So instead of getting involved, they apply pressure from the sidelines. They might complain that you're doing too much or not doing enough, criticize your plans, or create tension the moment that you start preparing. If you're excited about the holidays, they're going to find a way to dampen that excitement. If you're stressed, they're going to blame you for making things difficult. The buildup becomes a psychological minefield. They won't lift a finger to help, but they'll make sure that you feel responsible for every single thing that might go wrong. This pre-holiday irritability is their way of destabilizing you before the holidays even begin. They want you anxious, flustered, second-guessing yourself, because that state makes you easy to manipulate. They'll do things to upset you. For example, they're doing all the running around, including taking care of their side of the family. And in all of this, you ask for one simple 2-minute task, like hanging a leaf on the door or fixing that table leg for the dinner party. And day after day, nothing gets done, including by the time that the guests arrive. But somehow, they'll take all the credit for the dinner party. When the big day finally arrives, narcissists have a strange ability to create chaos out of thin air. This is intentional. Holidays come with expectations of warmth, connection, and togetherness. Those are things that narcissists resent because they're not the center of that genuine emotional energy. So they sabotage. They might pick a fight right before you walk out the door, or give you the silent treatment all morning and suddenly declare that the plans don't work for them anymore. Or they wait until you're surrounded by people so that they can embarrass you, talk over you, or contradict everything you say. They want to see you upset, and it can be so discouraging because you've been running around doing all that extra work for a couple special days that you wanted to enjoy. Days that you wanted to feel closeness, days that it's not always about them. You want to feel warmth, you want to feel love and laughter, things you don't experience with narcissists, but they make sure that you won't be getting that. Your happiness is a no-no to a narcissist because any environment where they're not the star is threatening for them. But here's the confusing part. In front of others, a narcissist can flip into perfect holiday angel mode. Suddenly, they're charming, they're helpful. Can I help you with something, babe? They're funny and they're attentive. They'll speak highly of you to other people. They'll act like you're the loving partner, sibling, parent, or friend of the year. You stand there thinking, where was this version of you all month long? That's the mask, the public performance, so that you end up looking bad when they say so. Narcissists are masters at impression management. They care more about looking like a good person than actually being one. And during the holidays, when people are watching, they will do everything in their power to protect that image. And after the event, though, the mask drops, and you're right back to coldness, criticism, or punishment. Gift giving with a narcissist is never just gift giving, it's a power play. They might give you a lavish gift, not out of love, but for leverage, to remind you that you owe them. Or they give you something that feels impersonal, last minute, or almost intentionally disappointing. Some even withhold gifts completely as a form of punishment. And over the years, I have heard so many horror stories on narcissists and gift giving. One man, he received a coffee mug from his wife that read, "World's Worst Husband." She thought it was funny. He didn't. Another one said she received an extra small dress from her husband where she obviously was a large size. So hurtful. Some narcissists can be cheap and uncaring, while others can be downright cruel. And when you give them a gift, it's not about the gift. It's about how well it reflects on them. It's not expensive enough. It's not thoughtful enough or perfectly tailored to their ego. They'll find a way to make you feel guilty or ashamed. They need you to feel like you failed because that failure keeps them superior. I mean, I experienced that one firsthand when I bought him a top-of-the-line notebook, and all he got was a pair of scissors for me that he replaced from the pair that he had broke. But for me, it was, how dare I choose technology when he was the one who knew all about technology. I was too stupid to choose the correct one, but he sure enjoyed it. Another holiday pattern is triangulation. Narcissists love creating tension between people so that they can sit in the middle as puppet masters. They might talk badly about you to family members or tell you what someone else allegedly said about you, even if it's not true. They stir up drama and then they act all innocent when everything explodes. If multiple people end up stressed, hurt, or confused, the narcissist feels powerful. The holidays become another opportunity to divide and conquer. There's a very specific reason narcissists get worse during the holidays. The season amplifies everything that they can't stand: warmth, empathy, connection, gratitude, intimacy, giving, and genuine joy, because they're not these things. These are things that they can't authentically feel. So instead of joining the emotional atmosphere, they drain it. This part is so true. They may also get triggered by seeing other people experience healthy family relationships or healthy love. It expresses what they lack internally. And because they can't cope with that emptiness, they lash out. And, well, you become the easiest target. You can't control a narcissist, but you can control your approach. First, lower your expectations. Expecting them to behave differently only sets you up for disappointment. So expect predictability. That protects your emotions. One of the most powerful tools when dealing with a narcissist, especially during emotionally charged seasons like the holidays, is something called radical acceptance. Now, radical acceptance doesn't mean approving of their behavior, excusing it, or pretending that it doesn't hurt. What it really means is accepting reality as it is, no matter how much it hurts, instead of exhausting yourself fighting the version of it that you wish existed. Radical acceptance is about recognizing that a narcissist is going to behave like a narcissist no matter how much effort that you put in, how kind you are, or how perfect you try to make the holiday. You stop expecting them to suddenly have empathy because they don't. You stop hoping this year will magically be different because it won't. You stop pouring energy into trying to manage their emotions because their emotions were never yours to manage in the first place. When you shift into this mindset, the pressure lifts. You no longer wait for them to wake up or finally get it. You stop thinking maybe this time they'll show up differently. That expectation has only ever led to disappointment. Radical acceptance means preparing for predictable patterns instead of being blindsided by them. Watch for them. Pay attention. So start preparing. If they usually pick a fight before you go somewhere, you no longer get caught off guard. If they withdraw or criticize or sulk, you don't spiral into self-blame or try to fix it. If they embarrass you in front of others, you don't make it a reflection of who you are. You see it as a reflection of who they are. And this mindset, it frees up your emotional bandwidth. Instead of pouring all your energy into managing the narcissist, you redirect that energy into protecting yourself, connecting with people who genuinely matter and creating moments of joy that are not dependent on their behavior. Radical acceptance gives you permission to stop arguing with reality and start responding to it in a way that supports your well-being. It allows you to step back, observe, and make conscious decisions rather than reactive emotional ones. And most importantly, it gives you back your power, because once you stop expecting someone to be something that they're not, you stop giving them the ability to disappoint you. You can't change a narcissist, but with radical acceptance, you can absolutely change how deeply their behavior affects you. Second, limit your emotional availability. Keep conversations neutral and surface level. Don't feed into provocation. If they're looking for a reaction, starve them of it. Now you're the one that's in control here. Use the gray rock method. It's calm, minimally expressive, and it's neutral. Your voice stays steady, your face stays relaxed, your answers are simple, factual, and short. You're not rude, you're not cold. You're unavailable as a source of narcissistic fuel. You're being smart. Now you're manipulating, but you're doing it to keep control. If they complain about something, you can nonchalantly say something like, sorry you feel that way, and go about what you're doing. If they complain about the money that you're spending, if it's your money, just say, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Third, set time boundaries. You don't need to spend the entire holiday with them. Shorten your visits if these are siblings, parents, cousins, or friends. Create exit plans. Protect your energy as if it's sacred, because it is. And if it's your partner, you don't have to be around them the whole time either. Let them hang out with other family members so that you can enjoy some fun time with others. And finally, remind yourself that you're allowed to enjoy the holidays even if they're miserable. Separate that. It's not about you, it's about them. Again, their emotional state does not dictate yours. You can still create joy, still connect with people who care, and still honor what the season means to you. So if the holidays have always felt tense, confusing, or draining around a narcissist, it's not in your head. Their behaviors, they follow predictable patterns. But once you understand those patterns, you take back your power. So if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might need it. You deserve peace, especially during the holidays. I'm going to be taking a bit of time off during the holidays, and I'll be back after the new year. Maybe I'll post something, some older videos that I have. I'll see. But in the meantime, I am wishing you the very best. Stay strong. You know who they are, and it has nothing to do with your value. Make this new year an intention of healing and finding those parts of self that you lost. Let's put Humpty Dumpty back together again. So be safe and happy holidays. Namaste.